Hello and welcome to my channel. This is a card design that I created for my son-in-law Ernest for his birthday. This is an easy to create card in a masculine design, and it's using a color layering stamp, and I've created a background that coordinates with it out of small stamps. This is a card design which I hope you will try yourself with whatever materials you have, but let me move this out of the way and show you the materials that I needed to make this card. First, the papers. And these are the inks that I'll be using today. I also need a 2 1/4 inch circle punch and a 2 1/2 inch circle punch. I'm going to be using Versamark watermark pad and a white embossing powder. I'll need some rhinestones. The stamp sets I'm using today is going to be Color Layering Squirrel by Altenew and Painted Inspirations, also by Altenew. And I need some woodgrain washi tape. Because I'm going to be doing a little bit of ink blending, I need 2 ink blending tools. Let me clear this away and show you how to create the card. Alright, I'm going to make the background first. So I'm bringing in a piece of paper to protect my work surface, and I have put all the little stamps that I'm going to need, except for 2, onto clear blocks. So this is a very simple matter of just going through and choosing a different color for each stamp and just going all over the background. Turning the stamp every which way as you go so that you don't get samey look. And the best way to do this is to go off of the paper every now and again and make sure that you get a good spread of the different stamps and colors throughout the paper. I'm going to speed this part up and play a little bit of music because this is pretty simple.
I'm looking forward to the weekend. The weather has been good. I'm looking forward to the weekend. The weather, 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 the weather. I'm looking forward to the weekend. The weather, the weather, the weather. The weather, the weather, the weather has been good. I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Okay, I think that's enough. I also have added little peanuts across here and acorns. The peanuts and the acorn were 2 steps, so I just stamped the solid color and then went over with the matching stamp. I missed off a little bit here, but that's all right. Okay, let me clear this away and move to the next step. Now I'm going to make the embellishment. I'm going to take the 2 1/4 inch circle punch and punch out a white circle. Be sure that you stay on one side or the other because you're going to need this panel to make the squirrel. Okay, sit that there for a moment, and now I'm going to take the 2 1/2 inch and punch out a blue circle. And make sure that you stay in the center because this is the same mat that will be used for the card. So you don't want the circle punch to show up. So make sure you stay in the inside part. Okay, set that aside for a minute. And I'm going to bring in my Misty tool because I'm going to use this negative space to help me punch onto stamp onto the circle. So here we go, in here, and make sure that I get the circle about where I want it to be. I need the stamp to be just about here, but it has to be straight. Okay, line that back up. Get the Versafine. And stamping really lightly because this is a very small stamp, and if you stamp it with too much pressure, the letters can start to distort, and you don't want that. Okay, set this aside. Alright, set that aside. Now I'm going to do some ink blending around the circle. I'm going to start off with the broken china in a very, very light motion. Don't press too hard. If you end up getting any circle marks from the tool, just keep blending and you'll be able to blend them right out. You would ordinarily slow this part down, but it's going to go very fast. So I'm just going to let it go. So I want to leave a little light area around the words, and the color will be everywhere else. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with the black soot and do the same thing. But because this is a dark ink, you're going to be really, really careful and really light because you don't want to mess this up at this point. Because it'd be very easy to leave dark marks all over your work. And then you just have to get another piece of white paper and start again. So very, very light. I just want to add just a bare bit of shadowing to make it stand out a little bit from that blue. And now over the whole thing again to blend the colors. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to take my multimedia mat and glue these two pieces together. I need to get another bottle of this. I'm running out. When you use a liquid adhesive for something like gluing these circles together, that gives you a second or two to adjust it where you want it before it sets up. Whereas if you use tape, you pretty much have to get it right the first time because it will set as soon as the two pieces touch. The liquid adhesive is just a little bit more forgiving. Okay, I'll set that aside. Moving on. Okay, I'm finished with that. Now bringing in the black strip and my embossing buddy. I'm going to go all over it because I don't want the embossing powder to stick where I'm not going to be embossing. Get that extra off. Now I have already put my stamp onto a small block and bringing in the Versamark. My pad, I was doing Versamark on a stamp that was pretty dirty with black ink, so that's why my pad is so yucky, but usually it's a nice clean beige, but this doesn't hurt it anything, so don't worry about that. So try to be straight here and stamp straight down and straight up, and I got a good one. Bringing in the embossing powder and just dip this right in. Flick off the extra. There we go. Alright, I'm going to take a paintbrush, a clean paintbrush that I have here, and knock off the little extra embossing powder because I don't want that to emboss on there. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my embossing tool and heat this up real quick. Set that aside and let it dry for a minute. And now I'm going to move on to doing the squirrel. Let me clear some of this away first. Now for the squirrel. I'm going to use my Misty tool for this. And I'm bringing in the panel that I used to cut out the circle. And using my magnet to put it in place, I'm going to drop that squirrel, the most solid image of the three-part set, right on here. Transfer it to the door. And it's important that nothing moves, so to be really sure that you have it all lined up where you want it. Yeah. So taking the potter's clay, I'll stamp this, ink this up really good. This will be a reddish squirrel, but you could use other colors if you thought that this was too reddish. Okay. Clean that up. And now I'm bringing in the middle one, which is a little bit more detail and lines. And you just look right through and line up the little squirrel, and this one lines up really, really good. It's very easy to get it in place. Transfer it to the door. And now I'm going to use the rich cocoa. And put him on there. And there you can see him now coming to life. Clean this up. And now we bring the outline. This one is a little trickier, even though it has less lines. Because if you get this one wrong, it will really, really show, and you'll just basically have to start all over again because it won't look right. So hopefully I got it. And I'm stamping this one with the tuxedo black. And there is our squirrel. Looks really realistic, doesn't it? Okay, clean this up. Move that out. So I'm going to move on to the next step now. Cutting this little guy out. When I bought this stamp set, I also bought the matching die cuts. So you just line them up right on here. You could hold this down with a piece of washi tape so that it doesn't move, but I'm going to hope that I can get it lined up right. If you didn't have the die cut, then you could just fussy cut around this little guy with a pair of scissors, and it's relatively easy to cut him out looking at him, and just cut them all out. But since I have the die cut, I'm going to use it. And here he is. One squirrel. Okay, let me move this out the way. The rest of the card is simple assembly, so I'm just going to let the music run and assemble the card, starting with the inside. So that's the finished card. I like how it came out. This one, of course, has more brown than this one because this one has the acorns and the peanuts and this one doesn't. Let me know in the comment section which one you prefer. I'd be interested to get some feedback on that. I'd like to thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel. I try to put out new content pretty frequently, and I try to make my videos a little bit shorter than this, but when I have a little bit more techniques to show you, then the video does tend to run on a little bit longer. I'd like to thank my brother for the music that he provides to this channel. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Thanks for watching. Please try this card yourself with whatever materials that you had available. If you wanted this particular stamp set, it's Hero Arts. I don't know if it's still available, but they have several color layering stamp sets that you could choose from. I just picked up a new one over the weekend. I can't wait to make a card on that one. It's a koala bear. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day. Take care.